Hello, everybody, and welcome to Field of Dreams Baseball. This is Barney Strom, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hello to David Lando and Carlos Yaz. We're here to sim. I am not going to play any games. There were no other broadcasters this week. I did my duty yesterday, broadcasting a couple of games and simming 10 days. But there were no other broadcasters this week. I think Buckshot has got a computer problem, and Will Toole has got a campaign problem. He's knocking on doors, and tonight Yoko is working, so I'm going to sim the rest of May, end the month, zip up the file. It'll go to Steve. He'll post it tomorrow, and I think whatever trading needs to be done can get done in the next 24 hours, and we'll go from there. I think this is the quietest week of trading in the history of Field of Dreams baseball. Anyway, let's go to today's schedule. We got 10 days to do. I'll do them one at a time. And whatever drama that is, that's the drama we'll have. Washington at Dallas. Dallas 16-1 over Washington. Ryan, the winner. Rashi, the loser. Lopez, home run number 3. Hit 2 of them on the day. Tijuana at Marshfield. Tijuana's on sort of a slide, and their slide continues, losing to Marshfield 16-3. Garcia overused. Doby, home run number 7. Edmonton and Mid-Michigan. Edmonton fighting for the Fire Division. 6-1 winners over a tough Mid-Michigan team who's leading the Water Division. Drysdale over Verlander. Mize, home run number 12. Liverpool at Lehigh. 2 rivals. Lehigh wins 5-3. Young over Kershaw. Home run number 4 for Hargrave. D-Gens at T-ville. D-Gens on a roll, and it continues 6-3. Lolich over Pierce. Home run number 7 for Hornsby. We'll visit the standings here after today. Philadelphia at Maplewood. 7-6. Maplewood Camp over Guidry. Home run number 13. Zernial. Hagerstown defeats Cleveland 5-3. Price over Welsh. Amazing 3-2 over Florence. Jim Cott over Mel Parnell. Schmidt, home run number 14. Chico's battling for the win division. 7-0 victors over Long Island. Seaver over Smoltz. Brooklyn at Chicago. Chicago in a little bit of a slump, and it continues as Brooklyn defeats them 7-1. Perry over Roberts. Home run number 13 for Davis. St. Pete over Lancaster, the surprising Lancaster team, tied for the lead in the Fire Division. And Night Raven nowhere to be found since our small confrontation about trading analysis over a week ago. St. Pete is edged out by Lancaster. They win the game 11-10. Chance over Cooper in a high-scoring affair. Manchester at San Francisco. San Francisco 4-3 winners. Steve over Greinke. Greinke 2-5. Very much a surprise based on his stats for the season. And Hadley Lake at Vegas. Hadley Lake defeats Vegas 5-1. McConnell over Davenport. And let's go while I'm down here. D-Gens 2 games over Lehigh in the Wind. 3 games over San Francisco. Liverpool a half a game ahead of Hagerstown, both with 22 victories. Mid-Michigan 4 games over St. Pete. Lancaster a game over Vegas, 2 games over Edmonton in the Fire Division. We go to the 23rd of May. Edmonton at Mid-Michigan. Mid-Michigan gets even 14-0 over Edmonton. Morton over Rollback. Jimmy Fox 2 home runs, number 13 on the year. Liverpool at Lehigh. Liverpool 6-4 victors. Marichal over Brown. Home run number 7 for Donaldson. D-Gens on a 3-game lead in the Wind. They lose, however, to T-ville 8-7. And let's see if I can pronounce it. Consuegra now 1-0 over Chapman. home run number 8 for Santo. Brooklyn at Chicago, and the woes continue for Chicago. Brooklyn shuts them out 2-0. Erskine over Kovaleski. Manchester at San Francisco. San Francisco is defeated by Manchester 9-7. Wiltse over Clemens. Washington at Dallas. Dallas wins 4-1. Vance over Burns. Harper, home run number 5. Tijuana at Marshfield. Tijuana makes a comeback 11-4. Rudolph over Quinn. McGuire, home run number 13. By the way, I've had some problems with my USB connections to my computer for the last few days. I think I've solved them, but if my sound goes out, please let me know on the chat as MV checks in. I'd appreciate it because I have to stop and restart the stream if that's the case. Hopefully I've solved the problem by changing out the USB hub, but who knows? Anything can happen with computers. Maplewood defeats Philly 6-3 in 20 innings. That ought to tire those guys out. Moore over Key. Cleveland at Hagerstown. Cleveland wins 4-3. Walsh over Santana. Bichette home run number 5. Florence at Amazing. 4-2 Florence. Lopat over Hamels. Winiger home run number 3. Buckshots in. Well, we're not going to play ball. We're just doing simming today because I don't have a game in me. I hope you got your computer problem solved, Buckshot. We love hearing your play-by-play broadcasts. Speaking of Buckshot, you're right in time to host Long Island, and here it is. You lose. Long Island defeats Chico's 10-5. Palmer over Haddocks. Shane East, 2 home runs, 4 on the year. St. Pete at Lancaster. St. Pete defeats Lancaster 6-5. Jeffers over Walters. Ramirez, home run number 6. Hadley Lake at Vegas. And Hadley Lake defeats Vegas for the second time in a row, 2-1. Off to the 24th. Quickly, D-Gens leading Lehigh by 2. Liverpool, 1.5 over Hagerstown. Mid-Michigan, 4 over St. Pete. And Lancaster, 1 over Vegas, 2 over Edmonton. Actually, that whole division's 5.5 games. Separate them all. 5 games in the loss column. For May, that means absolutely nothing. That means all of them are eligible to win this division. And I'm glad Buckshot got his computer problem fixed. The 24th, Washington at Dallas. Dallas wins 5-4. Tannehill over Hacker. Luzinski, home run number 9. Tijuana at Marshfield as that continues. Tijuana shuts him out 10-0. Carlton over Lemon. McGuire, home run 2 days in a row. Edmonton at Mid-Michigan. Mid-Michigan defeats Edmonton. Keuchel over Kaseling. D-Gens, 2-game lead over Lehigh. And they defeat T-Ville 7-6 in 11 innings. Chapman over Davis. Philly at Maplewood. Maplewood wins 5-2. Brackeen over Sale. Home run number 1 for Benedict. Back to Chico's at home against Long Island. They shut out Long Island. Bender wins 3-2 over Pedro Martinez. Brooklyn at Chicago. I'm rooting for you, Chicago. And they break their skid. Burdette over Rowe. 2 home runs for Hank Bauer. And Chicago's back in the winning side of the ledger as SGJ Jamie checks in. St. Pete at Lancaster. St. Pete defeats them 13-6, a 2-game losing streak for Lancaster, which is a rare thing this season for him. Davis over Scott. Lombardi, home run number 7. MV, here you go. You're at San Francisco, and you defeat San Francisco 13-7. Musina with his first win of the year. Lanier takes the loss 4-2. McGee, home run number 5. Hadley Lake, can they beat Vegas for a third straight time? They do not. Vegas defeats Hadley Lake 6-2. Hunter over Vaughn. Liverpool 10-5 over Lehigh. Shore over Luke. Home run number 9 for Trout. Hagerstown 5-4 over Cleveland. Kimbrell in 11 innings. Kimbrell wins. Needham Fuhr 0-2. And the last game of the day sees Florence defeat Amazing 4-2. Amazing on a skid. They're 18-26. McDermott over Rigetti. We go to the 25th, glancing at the schedule as we head into the last week of May. Cut Historical comes by. Here we go. D-Gens, 3 games up over Lehigh. Liverpool, game and a half over Hagerstown. Mid-Michigan, 4 over St. Pete. Lancaster and Vegas in a virtual tie. D-Gens at T-ville. D-Gens 3-1. Douse now 8-1 over Trucks. Home run number 8 for Evans. Hadley Lake at Chicago. Hadley Lake defeats Chicago 6-3. Crandall over Apier. Home run number 6 for Camilli. Marshfield at Vegas. Marshfield shuts out Vegas 3-0. Denny over Ray. McManus, home run number 5. Tijuana at Amazing back in the winning column, 6-2. Memo over Alexander. Manchester, another 13 spot they put on the board, 2 games in a row, 13-4 over Cleveland. Whitey Ford over White. Herman, his second home run of the year. And St. Pete loses to Edmonton, who's back in the winning side. Seaton over Davies, home run number 3. Cooper. Chico's is losing to Hagerstown 5-4 in this game. Roden over Johnson, home run number 9 for Wilson. And Brooklyn at Lancaster. Brooklyn defeats Lancaster 3-2, helps me out. Antonelli over Walters, Bottomley home run number 10. That's a 3-game losing streak for Lancaster. I'm glad to see we've got people in here interested in how we finished the month of May. In case anyone is interested, when I will do a broadcast, and we will this weekend, probably Sunday, like I did last Sunday, I will call 2 games live and play the rest of them out, let the computer play the computer with the computer narrator on. 4 to 5 hours it takes to do that, but it was fun. People liked it, and I will do it again this Sunday. Okay, D-Gens still with actually D-Gens widen their lead over Lehigh, 3.5. Liverpool's lead down to 1. Mid-Michigan, 4 games, 4.5, I guess. And Lancaster, Vegas tied. Let's hit the 26th. Mid-Michigan defeats Florence 5-3. Gibson over Sane, home run number 4 for Rodriguez. Tijuana, 11-0 over Amazing. Neff over Lee. McGuire had 4 RBIs. Tijuana is only 2 games out in the Fire Division. T-ville loses to Liverpool 6-2. Kluber over Charlie Huff. Ott 3 walks. D-Gens wins again 5-2 over Washington. Arrieta over Bannister. Bryant, 2 runs batted in. Lehigh defeats Philly 11-5. Column over Rogers. Klazuski home run number 4. Hadley Lake at Chicago. Chicago wins 2-1. Buell over Hubble. Williams home run number 4. For MV, Manchester 13 runs, and again, no, but they win 4-3. Manchester on a winning streak. Hoffman over Howe in 15 innings. Wilson home run number 11. Dallas defeats Maplewood 11-0. Maddox over McMurtry. Long Island defeats San Francisco. Porterfield over Pfeffer, home run number 7 for Cano. Chico's loses to Hagerstown 11-9. Necro over Haddocks, home run number 10 for Wilson. Brooklyn at Lancaster. Will Lancaster's losing streak continue? It does. Brooklyn defeats them 7-3. Andujar over Russell. And Marshfield at Vegas. Vegas squeaks by Marshfield 5-4. Davenport over Schumacher. Dawson home run number 14. and we head for Saturday the 27th. I'm going to take a sip of water here and then review the standings for a second. D-Gens holds on to their 3.5 game lead. Liverpool holds on to their 1 game lead. Mid-Michigan increased their lead to 5. And Vegas, after starting out on April 6th with everybody else, finally is at first place by 1 game over Lancaster with virtually the same record. Here we go, Mid-Michigan at Florence, and they win 4-2, Verlander over Parnell. We saw that earlier in a previous game. Liverpool 4-3 over T-ville. Mathewson wins his first game of the year. Mathewson was a pickup from Chicago before the season started. Babe Ruth, home run number 18. And we'll check the leaders here. I think Ruth is leading the league in home runs. Speaking of Chicago, here's Hadley Lake at Chicago. Chicago wins 5-3. Roberts over McConnell. Cleveland at Manchester. 4-1 Manchester. Manchester's on a roll. Hoffman over Niedenfuhr. 9th home run for Koff. Let's check Manchester. They are making a comeback. That brings them to 500. They were several games below 500. MV, your team is moving only 4 games back. Chico's at Hagerstown, and they defeat Hagerstown 7-3. Seaver over Price. Home run number 14 for Mickey Mantle. Tijuana at Amazing. Tijuana keeps their winning streak going. Hughes over Cut. Home run number 15 for McGuire. D-Gens at Washington. D-Gens drops 1 to Washington, 4-1. Rashi over Joss. Philadelphia at Lehigh. Lehigh wins 6-5. Young over Messerschmitt, 12th home run for Willie Mays. St. Pete over at Edmonton, and Edmonton defeats him 8-1. Drysdale over Jenkins. Gordon, home run number 13. Dallas defeats Maplewood 10-5. Ryan over Perez. Harper, number 6. San Francisco loses to Long Island 6-3. Keeson over Steve. Vaughn, home run number 8. Brooklyn at Lancaster again. Are they going to sweep them? Let's find out. They do not. Lancaster breaks their losing streak, wins 7-4. Moran over Perry. Yogi Berra, home run number 7. Marshfield at Vegas. Vegas wins 8-3. Simmons over Garcia. We head for the 28th. And the races, D-Gens only 2.5 over Lehigh. Liverpool doubled their lead 2 games over Dallas. Mid-Michigan continues to pull away from the pack at the water division. And Vegas remains a game ahead of Lancaster, a game ahead of Edmonton, 2.5 over Tijuana, and 4.5 over Chicago. However, if you'll notice, only 3 games in the loss column over Chicago. Nobody is out of it in that division. Not even Florence with 21-23, and Slashed. Deep Gaming comes by. Slash, nice to see you. Jeff Hunter's in. Here we go. 4 more days to go in the month. We'll then wrap it up. I'm sorry we're not doing a play-by-play game, but we'll make it up on the weekend. Mid-Michigan loses to Florence 5-4 as Florence gets closer to 500. Brewster over Stanley. Altuve, home run number 3. Lehigh loses to Philly 2-1. Lee over Brown. That puts Lehigh 3 games back. Maplewood defeats Dallas 10-3. Schultz over Vance. Williams, home run number 9. San Francisco at Long Island in a short schedule today, 4-3 San Francisco. Clemens over Palmer, home run number 13 for Rodriguez. We go to the 29th as we get close to the end of the month. Florence defeats Marshfield 10-2. McDermott over Quinn. Jacobson, home run number 9. Maplewood is shut out by Philadelphia 7-0. Gullickson over Cheney. Wallach, home run number 7. Mid-Michigan puts a hurt on Tijuana 17-4. Keuchel over Alexander. Can you believe Alexander lost a game 17-4 just out of curiosity? 4 innings, only allowed 4 runs. Whoever James is in his bullpen allowed 9 runs. That's what happened in that game. Lancaster at Hadley Lake. Hadley Lake defeats Lancaster 5-4. Their slump continues. Faber over Russell. Blackman home run number 7. T-ville at Degens. Degens wins 3-2 as they continue to roll along in the win division. Lolich over Johnson, home run number 17 for you-know-who, Lajoie, who seems to hit several every week. Chicago at St. Pete. Chicago defeats St. Pete 8-5. They looks like they've pulled out of their slump. Kovaleski over Cueto. Chicago now 2 games over 500, only 4 games out. I think they're going to right the ship. Lehigh at Liverpool, 10-4. Lehigh. Brown over Marichal. Cleveland loses to Long Island 4-3. Keeson over Walsh. Home run number 1 for Lofton. Washington defeats Dallas 7-5. Tesreau over Tannehill. Sauer home run number 2. San Francisco shut out by Hagerstown. Santana over Tiant. Matthews home run number 8. Chico's in Manchester. Well, both my buddies can't win. Let's see who wins. Manchester rolls 10-9 in a slugfest. Hoffman over Bender. Home run number 12 for Ortiz. Ortiz was acquired by Chico's from my Vegas team before the season starts. Manchester is only 3 games back, however, and Chico's is 8.5 back, 9 in the lost column. They need a winning streak. Brooklyn at Edmonton. Edmonton wins 7-3. Bonham over Erskine. And amazing at Vegas. Vegas wins 5-1. Hunter over Hamels. The 30th. The races look about the same. Let's go. Marshfield defeats Florence 2-1. Hernandez over Reynolds. Powell home run number 9. Dallas over Washington. Necro over Hacker. Home run number 7 for Harper. Here we go. Chico's at Manchester. Game 2. Manchester defeats Chico's. MV, you're not doing Chico's any favors. 4-2. Ford now 7-2 in the season. Walter Johnson 7-4. Stan Musial home run number 6. Manchester back to 2 games over 500, only 2.5 games out of the lead. Brooklyn at Edmonton. Edmonton wins 13-4. Tony over Antonelli. 3-1. Maplewood over Philadelphia. Brackeen over Sale. Mid-Michigan at Tijuana. Mid-Michigan squeaks by 5-4. Morton over Carlton. Thorson home run number 9. Lancaster at Hadley Lake. Hadley Lake shuts out Lancaster 3-0. Vaughn over Rixey as Lancaster's hot start continues to cool off. Rudy York home run number 5. Degens 10-2 winners over T-ville. Their hot streak continues as they have a solid 3.5 game lead in the win division. Fella over Trucks. Bryant home run number 3. Chicago at St. Pete. Chicago on a roll. And it continues 7-0. Apier over Davies. Palmero, home run number 5. Palmero was acquired by Chicago from Vegas before the season starts. Lehigh at Liverpool. Lehigh 11-2. Young over Shore. Caminetti, home run number 12. Cleveland defeats Long Island 9-6. White over Bergmeyer. Wright, home run number 8. 13-7, Hagerstown over San Francisco. Sarmiento over Lanier. Mantle home run number 15. And to conclude the 30th, amazing at Vegas. Vegas squeaks by another pitcher's duel in Dodger Stadium. Won a surprise 2-1. Boddicker over Marmot. And we head to the last day of the month of May. Yeah, MV, you're doing good this week. Congratulations. I couldn't believe your slow start, but you're out of it now. Here we go. 7-5 Maplewood over Philadelphia, McMurtry over Rogers. Mid-Michigan defeats Tijuana 9-6, Gibson over Neff, as Tijuana starts to slide in that fire division. Lancaster at Handley Lake. Lancaster defeats Hadley Lake 8-5. Sabathia over Crandall. Cravath, home run number 17. D-Gens finishes the month losing to T-Ville 10-8. Honeycutt over Hammaker. Hammaker 0-2. Maybe you should have traded him to me at the start of the season. Try to get him from Mikey. He's a tough guy to separate a player from. 9th home run for Ernie Banks. Chicago at St. Pete. Chicago loses to St. Pete 5-3 to end the month. Davis over Hoyt. Marshfield defeats Florence 6-2. Lemon over Rijo. Williams, home run number 13. Another tough matchup. Lehigh defeats Liverpool 3-1. Halliday over Kinder. Bell, home run number 3. Cleveland 3-2 winners over Long Island. Ayers over Potterfield. 6-3 Dallas over Washington. Maddox over Bannister. Home run number 8 for Rondon. Chico's in Manchester again. Manchester continues their hot streak. 3-1 victory over Chico's. Chico's falls to 500. I'm sure that is a big disappointment for my friend who is expected to have a good year, but there's still a lot of time left. I wouldn't give up now. Haddock's the loser. McGee, home run number 2. San Francisco loses to Hagerstown. Roden over Pfeffer 6-3. Hagerstown, home run number 9 for Wagner. And the last game of the month of May, Amazing loses to Vegas 8-7. Rivero over Lee, home run number 9 for Frank Robinson. That takes care of the month. Let's see how we end up. Earth Division, Hagerstown, 1-game lead over Liverpool, 1.5 over Dallas, 2 over Manchester, as MV charges to the top of that division. And that is a tight race between those 4 teams. Win Division, D-Gens, 2 games over Lehigh. It's a battle there. San Francisco 7 back. Chico's 9.5 back. And Buckshot, I have great faith your team's going to go on a hot streak. Well, Buckshot, I didn't do it on purpose. I apologize. I would have rather had other people in the fire division lose than you. Anyway, speaking of the fire division, Vegas in first place at the end of May, 2 games ahead of Edmonton, 3 ahead of Lancaster, 5.5 ahead of Tijuana and Chicago. Everybody's in that race. Mid-Michigan pulling away in the water division. Not so close there. They're the only team over 500 at 30-18. Batting leaders, Tris Speaker, that's no surprise, leading in hitting. Anybody surprised me in that top 10? There's a few, but Lajoie at 353 and Speaker, 2 of the top hitters in the league. Babe Ruth home runs at 19, Lajoie with 18, Cravath with 17, as those dead ball guys continue to hit home runs out of the park. Runs batted in, Lajoie with 50, Chase with 49. There's a battle. Stolen bases, Tim Raines and Ty Cobb tied at 31. ERA, I don't know who Lee is. He's from Montreal, and he pitches for Philadelphia, but he is a touch ahead of Arrieta for the ERA leadership. Lehigh with a couple of pitchers in that group. And the pitcher that MV's been waiting for all since season 1, Whitey Ford, is in the top 10 in ERA. Cy Young leads and wins. Vegas, got Hunter in a trade for Ryan Braun before the season started with Clue. And Hunter's on a 6-game winning streak. What else see we have here? San Francisco, Lancaster, and Degens. Lancaster is hitting well. That explains their winning. Vegas, Chicago, and Lehigh pitching well. Not a surprise in any one of those. Chicago perennial has the best fielding team in the league. I don't know how he does it, but he's up there, followed by Degens and T-ville. And my favorite stat is that Cy Young is leading in the Cy Young Award. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming by. I want to thank Buckshot, although he's not thanking me for what happened to him today. Jeff Hunter, MV, Slashed was here. SGJ Jamie. Dwayne March checked in. Sorry I missed you, Dwayne, when you got here. David Landau. Cutter Storko came by. Thank you for coming by to check us out. David Landau, again, I mentioned him. Carlos Yaz was here. David was the first one in the ballpark or the studio today. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming by. Stay tuned for my announcement at what time on Sunday we'll be doing our 4 or 5 hour broadcast. Going to try to do all the games on Sunday, 2 of them live, and the balance of them, the computer narrator doing it. Anyway, thank you all for coming, and we will catch you all on Discord shortly.